Today we are taking a look at what my good friend Beezy was able to build for us in, guess what, City Conservation Center. This build has been absolutely incredible to see him put together, and I am so happy to announce that City Conservation Center is finally back. So without further ado, let's look at what he built. Or rather, what we are building on top of what he built. Welcome back everyone to our first City Conservation Center speed build in quite some time. It has been quite a while. I think it's even like the first one this year. A lot has changed. I'm finally able to load into this park again thanks to being able to turn off climbing off of all the objects. There's still a lot of lag in here. You'll notice that in the kind of like live view. But I'm super excited to be back in here because you can see we're trying to work this beautiful dome that Beezy was able to put together into the park kind of naturally, just make sure it makes sense. So I'm using a whole wide variety of different pieces in here. Not really, I'm just using plaster pieces and asphalt up there. But one of the things I really wanted to do was kind of upgrade this little walking area. Obviously, City Conservation Zoo is one that I'm really hoping to wrap up. It's just kind of overstayed its welcome. I want to get all my projects done as much as possible, and that means finishing some projects up. So if I need to wrap something up, I'm going to decide to wrap something up. So you can see I'm slowly but surely working on getting like all the details in here all set. A lot of this comes down to just trying to hide some pieces that might be sticking out, get rid of some other blueprints in here that Beezy left around. He is an incredible builder. Can we just talk about that? Beezy's built for us twice on the channel, I believe. He's built the chimpanzee, or mandrill, I'm pretty sure it was mandrill house back in Riverbend Discovery Center, and City Conservation Center. I wanted to get some more primates in here. I already had the gorillas and like the siamings and the lemurs in here, but I definitely wanted the orangutan because their conservation story is just super important to be able to tell, and it's one that I really felt like we needed in here. So we have this whole beautiful dome in here, very tropical on the inside with a whole bunch of different terrariums. I gotta go through and put some small piece animals in those too. But you can see we're working mostly on the exterior of this build. I do some small like minor changes on the inside just to help make sure that everything flows consistently. But you can see I'm working a lot with the new grasses that we got in the grasslands pack, and a lot more with like just general landscaping. I'm using a whole bunch of different flowers and stuff throughout here. Obviously there's this big stretch of land, and you have to keep it relatively interesting for the guests to kind of walk through. So I am filling it all the way up with like native wildflowers. I think I'm just using the aster in here, which really, I don't know, it brings a certain blue to the park that I feel like is very nice in that area. Once you start to get into like that pseudo-Russian area, you start to get a little bit more red flowers, which I kind of like. It kind of goes hand in hand with the theme. But over here, I'm kind of pronunciating like the palms. Not really the palms, but like all those semi-tropical temperate plants. Kind of like your elephant ears and whatnots. So I have all those kind of playing on throughout there. Here I am just turning off more climbing. Eventually I just turned off climbing for the entire zoo. And once I'm ready to release it, I'll actually enable climbing hand by hand so that our animals are able to climb for when you guys are able to load into that. If you guys are able to load into it. This park is massive. I can barely handle it on my own. You might notice that I'm running on medium graphics in this video. That's just because that was like as much of a leeway as it was able to give me before it started kind of like to crap the bed essentially. So as we kind of made our way throughout here, ditsying and doodling, I want to throw some other things in of interest. So I kind of have this fallen tree over here. I put a little sign that kind of talks about like, you know, what animals might live in a fallen tree in the forest or even natively. Like a whole bunch of different insects and mammals might make use of it. Definitely insects though, definitely like termites and stuff. But I am continuing the theming all throughout here up until that lemur area that we did so long ago. I honestly, did that come out when we got the lemur as a free DLC item? I don't think so. I really don't. I'm not sure. I gotta remember back in the day. but you can see we're slowly but surely adding some more foliage in here. I wanted that big cedar tree right there just to help welcome you in. And then, of course, we had to get these animals in here somehow. Ideally, I would have an outdoor area for these guys, but unfortunately, it's just not in the cards. I am not really that good at making primate exhibits. The gorilla one was fine because gorillas don't really need too much of a climbing frame, but the orangutans, they need a lot. And yeah, I'm just not in the right space to build that. But you can see that we do some other small changes throughout here, and here we are in the cinematics. A lot has kind of changed in between like that final frame and the cinematics, but I hope you guys are able to appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Beezy, for even stopping by in the first place. Go check out his workshop because he has a ton of awesome stuff on there. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are always the best. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys are very excited to get back into the City Conservation Center, and I can't wait to see you all then. Take care, and bye-bye.